Joining us now is CNN senior political analyst Gloria Borger, along with Joe Klein and Mark Halpern, both of Time Magazine. First of all, it's interesting, Gloria, you hear Hillary Clinton listing the things that need to happen. Everybody votes, the superdelegates decide, and Florida and Michigan get seated. That's a big one right there.
We're back there. Yeah. We're back there. You're right. This is heartburn for Howard Dean because he would like this race to be over. He would like the superdelegates to decide. He says he's going to tell them to decide. But if tomorrow, Anderson, she wins in the double digits, this is not anywhere near over. I can tell you that.
When is a win a loss? When is a loss a win? Does it have to be double digits for Hillary Clinton?
I don't know. I think we're going to look at the delegates. I think, it's Pennsylvania, tomorrow's Groundhog Day. I mean, we're going to have a repetition of tomorrow 2 weeks from now in Indiana and North Carolina.
We should ban the term like make or break, do or die. In this race, none of that seems to count.
Given her laundry list of things that have to happen, we'll be lucky if we have a nominee by Thanksgiving, which is after the election.
When do you think, Howard Dean says, look, superdelegates need to decide by June 3rd. Is that likely?
I think it's possible. Look,
June 3rd is the date of when all the primaries and caucuses are over.
I think we're too focused on the question of the margin in Pennsylvania as the end, the thing to look at. There are two things to look at to get her out of the race, assuming she's not going to be the nominee. One is Barack Obama getting to a mathematical majority, which he could do if superdelegates look at the results in Pennsylvania and perhaps Indiana and North Carolina and say, we've seen enough, we're going with Obama. The other thing is if her people tell her to get out of the race. I suspect if she wins by anything more than just a few points, none of her prominent people will tell her to get out of the race. We're going at least 2 more weeks.
The other big issue is money. Barack Obama has a lot more money than Hillary Clinton, and I think in the end it's going to be the money people who say to Hillary Clinton, look, we cannot raise any more money.
Hillary Clinton started off this month, I think, with $8.5 million. I think she got $2.5 million from Elton John's event.
Right.
But she's spending about $1 million a day, her campaign.
Right, and there's nothing harder than retiring a campaign debt in the world because you have to ask people to give you money after you're no longer a candidate. So that's a tough thing to do. So I think in the end, if it's not going to work for her, it'll be the money people.
But if she does well in Pennsylvania, money will flood in. It did after Texas. They were able to raise some $20 million.
Well, it depends. I think that it depends on how many of her supporters are tapped out at this point. She tends toward the toward the bigger
Obama.
Bigger
I think
donors.
More than 40% of the people who've given to him have not maxed out, whereas with her, it's only about 20% of the people.
One thing I will say is that I spent the weekend in Pennsylvania. One day with Obama, one day with Clinton, and he seemed kind of subdued for him. He's still a very good campaigner, a little bit bummed, maybe a little ticked off, and she was on fire. She really had an awful lot of energy. I think she could feel this moving in her direction. So, there are a lot of people who want to get rid of her, but when you watch her work, it doesn't look like she's going to leave anytime soon.
When they say this is a good Clinton, the Obama people say this is a good Clinton state, older voters, blue-collar voters, he's got to win those voters. He can't just be conceding them.